All right, it's 10:30. Chris at the National Weather Service in Paducah. I'll just kind of hang out for another minute here. Got a good turnout, up to about 220 people. So we're going to do this like we did a couple of days ago with the first event. If you have any questions, just go ahead and type the questions in the question box, and I'll answer them, maybe briefly read the question for the follow-up answer. I say let's go ahead and get started with the briefing. Thanks for joining and participating before lunchtime. Currently, we have a winter storm warning in effect for the western half of the area, basically from I-57, I-24, and US 45 westward into southeastern Missouri, just a few counties in a winter weather advisory to the east of the warning area. The first forecast item to address as I go into the early afternoon is, do I expand the advisory across the Evansville tri-state area? And when I show you how fast the precipitation is coming in, you'll see why the need to get on that pretty quick and make a decision. The precipitation will come in two waves. Speaking of that, like we alluded to in the warning, it will develop quickly this afternoon from southwest to northeast. On radar, it's already spreading across northern Arkansas. There's even lightning with it. And so it's going to, for those interested in timing, it's going to make it, being the freezing rain and sleet, make it into southeast Missouri as early as noon or 1 o'clock in the Ozark foothills, and maybe reaching I-55 by 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then quickly spreading east-northeast of the Mississippi River after that into the early evening hours. The one thing that I've noticed in the data this morning, the main concern, is that temperatures are running 1 to 3 degrees lower than currently forecast, and they are paralleling the coldest guidance, and that has been a concern throughout this forecast process. A few days ago, we thought a lot of the guidance was too warm. Very strong high pressure system, a lot of below zero temperatures in the plains. So, and in addition to contemplating a winter weather advisory going into Evansville, also going to have to play with the temperature forecast, and that obviously will have a direct impact on the rain versus freezing rain line. So here's the forecast ice totals right now. Round one will be, the greatest totals are forecast to be, the area that I'm concerned with the most right now is coming out of northeast Arkansas, the Missouri Boot Heel, New Madrid, Mississippi, Stoddard, Scott, over to Carlisle, Hickman, Fulton counties, maybe Graves, Ballard, and McCracken is where we could see some pretty decent ice totals. If you go just north and west of there, the concern still exists for freezing rain, but it may mix a little bit more with sleet this afternoon and this evening. So we'll have to weigh that out. And of course, again, it's going to rapidly spread north and east. As the night wears on, I think the focus will shift south, and we'll be mainly looking at our southeast Missouri counties from Poplar Bluff over to Paducah and the southern tip of Illinois later tonight. And then the second round will be tomorrow, but that'll be focused, I don't know if you can see my mouse pointer, but it'll be, the focus will be from, say, Van Buren up to Perryville and up to Pinckneyville, because we will have some warmer air pushed back west and northwest. Let me go ahead and show that graphic. Midnight tonight, for example, we're right at 32, although I may need to tweak that down at Paducah, below freezing in southeast Missouri and southern Illinois, and above freezing back to the Pennyrile. That's midnight tonight, but by noon tomorrow, the freezing line retreats to the west, more toward Poplar Bluff up to Pinckneyville. So the precipitation tomorrow is expected to be mainly rain over a good part of the area. And briefly, just touching on this, this is a little bit less important, but we could see some sleet, again, across the northwest half of the area. The greatest sleet amounts would be the far northwestern counties, Fairfield, Pinckneyville, Perryville, Van Buren. Warning criteria is a ½ inch, and we could be close to that, but overall, not as big of a concern. And then, finally, the concern for excessive rainfall. We will have some thunder with this activity. We have thunder over southwestern Missouri now, and that could enhance precipitation rates, possibly add to the concern as far as freezing rain with this round this evening and tonight. And overall, the QPF has lowered just a bit, but given the saturated ground conditions across the area, the greatest rains will fall over western Kentucky back into southeast Missouri. Just a marginal risk for exceeding flash flood guidance. Not going to issue any watches or anything, but I wouldn't rule out some minor water problems in addition to the winter weather concerns. We could be pushing 2 inches toward the Kentucky-Tennessee border. That's liquid equivalent. That's actual rainfall. I think that pretty much covers it. As far as it ending, we should see it winding down from west to east in the afternoon and evening hours Thursday. Could end as a mix of freezing rain and sleet again, but I think by that time the impacts will be lowering considerably. So expect forecast adjustments as we go through the afternoon. I anticipate I will be adjusting the headlines somewhat, and I may have to tweak the ice amounts up a little bit from southeast Missouri into west Kentucky. Other areas I may be able to trim it a little bit. So just basically a lot of fine tuning, and hopefully I'll get that done by, say, 2 o'clock this afternoon.